Hey guys, this is Manshark Sub LPs. I'm Sub, this is Europa Universalis IV, and this is episode 76 of our Big Blue Blob playthrough of the Millennium of the Making game. We're France, we're not at war with anybody, we rule the Pope, you know, the usual sort of stuff. Everything is good for us. Do have a little bit of overextension, but we're working on that. It'll go away in 2 years. And then we can, you know, do some other stuff. At the moment, we're killing time. Acquiring some more tech points. Oh hey, and we were also doing some exploration. I remember this. And then back down there. We'll probably lose that explorer, but I don't give a shit. Now we do have the option to go to war with Manchu, but we don't want to do that just yet because our previous war was with Zhao, who are allied with Manchu. Speaking of which... Ah, they kicked us out. Ah, but now they're a Wichi nationalists. Done. Let's have a look at these trade nodes. Ah, that's a lot better. 58%. Perfect. Looks like we just got a merchant. We did. Totally got a merchant. So we're going to put him in Hangzhou. He's not going to be able to do much, but we're going to send his stuff down to Malacca. And even though he's not going to be able to do much, well, you know, just because he can't do much doesn't mean that that slight bit that he can do isn't going to be beneficial. Ah, looks like we just lost our navigator. That's fine, let's hire the guy who gives us better tariffs. Slightly better tariffs. That's cool. A little bit of border friction with Turkestan. It's really annoying that they just don't die. They never die. And we can't really do anything against them because we're not that good at it. At this point in time. Still ahead 2 years. It's alright. Should probably boost Mongolia's opinion of us while we're at it. We can't dynastic marriage them, but we can improve relation. Wow, the Khan's heir is more than twice as old as him. Amazing. Alright, where's my coalition map? Okay, so Manchu and Korea and Japan are not in the coalition, neither is Champa, who have done a good job there. Arche isn't either. Arche is probably our next target. You only need 2 armies to take the damn place. Ah, good. Ah, we can fabricate another couple of claims up here. And Shun, might as well. Let's check on those colonies. Right, so we do have 1 spare colonist who we should send somewhere. Like Manitobia? Well, actually, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. You know what? Yeah. Split them, send them. It's going to cost us money, but whatever. Um, 50 prestige or 5 prestige and money. We don't need 50. So the reason why we're making this exploration, and there, I think we just found it. Hang on, get out of that. I saw it a moment ago. There was a trade line coming in. Yeah, there should be a trade line coming into Nippon from over here. I think it's this one here coming into the Mississippi River, but I'm not sure. Actually, wow. California. It should be California. Really? Is that still part of the same colonial region? Yeah, wow. Okay. Good. Who's Korea allied with? Ming and Shun. Ah, that's good. That'll give us a way to attack Shun again. So we've got Manchu to attack Zhao with, and we've got Korea to attack Shun and Ming with. And they're allies, so it'll be good wars. Good wars. Alright. It's a holy war, by the way, guys, so, you know, hold on to your hats. That guy, and you can be that guy. You go to Ligor, you go to Tenasserim. And we've got enough ships to actually do something about it. Did we have a big fleet? Yeah, we did. So you do kind of need a fleet to deal with Aceh. I mean, you don't need it, but it's very useful. And that every single province they have is coastal. So if you want to make things quick, bring a fleet. Ooh. Yeah, we're not quite going to invest in that one just yet. As we have declared that we will wage war on our religious enemies, the people have swung behind the war effort. -2 war exhaustion. We have 0 war exhaustion. But, you know, Deus Vult. I kind of want to talk about, well, not the Shadowrun game. I mean, that's kind of incidental to what I wanted to talk about. But role-playing games, sort of like what I'd like to do. I mean, the Shadowrun game is dragging on at the moment. We're having a bit of issues getting people together for it, but not issues that can't be surmounted. But it's dragging on because the guys just don't really seem all that invested in it, which, I mean, I guess that's fair enough. I can't force people to be invested in something. You guys allied with anybody? No, and now we have a truce, don't we? Ugh. Oh, hang on. Deal with that. Just real quick, do we have an army in the vicinity to take up there? No, we don't. We need all the armies here on the mainland that we've got. Ah, the Brunei force. Take this army up there. They're gonna get out of there. Straight to Malacca on the 3rd. Yep, good. I just don't want to fight them. Anyway, yeah, so Shadowrun game is dragging on. I'm not particularly sure what the deal is. I mean, part of it is that the guys just aren't acting like real Shadowrunners, which is... It's kind of a no true Scotsman sort of thing, but not, in that there is definitely a way that Shadowrunners should behave, and they're just not doing it, to be honest. So that's kind of that, but let's not get into that. The game's only got like 4 or 5 more sessions in it, which admittedly is 2 months minimum, considering we only meet every fortnight, which I'd prefer every week, but it's such a drain. Just lost our boats up here. That's fine. So what I'll do when I've got a colonist is I'll send him out to Kamchatka, and that way we'll have enough to reach up there and continue our exploration. Either that or we just buy some more diplomatic tech. And let's get a new general. That's not bad. Good. So, yeah, I mean, it's got 2 months left in it, which, yeah, I'm not too keen on it being a full 2 months. That's annoying to me, because I'm honestly sick of Shadowrun. I don't like the universe. It's irritating to me. Let's go down and deal with these boats, because we are going to have an issue. I know, it looks like they're dealt with. Get back. Diplomat home from Shun. Get him right back out there. So, yeah, I mean, the Shadowrun rule set is bad. Like, the rules. It's bad, it's unbalanced, it's broken, it's very easy to break even further, and it just... shit doesn't work right. Let's get these guys down to the Straits of Malacca, park them there for a bit. I mean, magic. You're going to have a magic user in your Shadowrun party. There is almost no way around that. You're going to have somebody who uses magic. Minus 20 diplomatic power, that's fine. Like, that's just a thing that's going to happen, because magic is part of the universe and some people are going to want to mess with it. And yeah, I mean, the adept stuff, that's fine. I mean, some of the parts of that are a little weird, but it's fine. There's nothing stupid about it by any chance. Actual mages are just broken, completely broken. Add to that the rolling can be irritating. I mean, I know people do like rolling a lot of dice, but you roll it and then you've got to count them up and all that sort of shit. It runs into the same problem that the Star Wars RPGs have. And the problem with the Star Wars RPGs is you roll and you don't immediately know what the fuck is going on. You roll and then you got to start counting things up and cancelling out and all that sort of thing. It has a similar issue to that. Not the same, because there's no cancelling out, but similar. See what they're saying about this being easy? Whereas in something like the 40k RPGs, you roll, you look at a number, compare it to your own, done. You're done. I mean, there's a little bit of counting, but it's easy counting. It's units of 10. Anyway, the Shadowrun universe also annoys me, and it's really sort of become obvious why it annoys me in this current game that we're playing, the current Shadowrun game. And it's because it's too similar to our own. Now, that doesn't sound like an issue, but it is. The Shadowrun universe is too similar to our modern day world. And it's based off our modern day world, so of course it is. It's basically the modern day world 50, 60, 70 years later, where various issues have cropped up, magic's come back, you know, that sort of thing, corporations are big, all of that. Good fun stuff. And like I say, it's cyberpunk. Of course it's cyberpunk, and cyberpunk does generally need to be based in modern day world or in a modern day world or an extension of such, in order to give it some form of context. I mean, Blade Runner is still on Earth. You're going to eventually get like a couple of cyberpunk things that aren't. Like, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some anime out there that isn't. And hey, that's fine. We're moving Perak on the 15th. I will not intercept that force. Unless I do this. And hey, Mongolia's come to the party. Good on them. Let's get our boats over there to help out. Right. Versailles stands in unearthly glory. We'll take a pause from my RP story. The huge structure, representing French classical style at its height, was the work of Louis Laval, J.H. Mansart, and Charles Lebrun. André Lenotre laid out the park and gardens, which are decorated with fountains, reservoirs, and sculptures by such artists as Antoine Kosovo. A huge machine was built at Marly-le-Roi to supply water for the fountains. The park contains two smaller palaces, Grand Trianon and the Petit Trianon, as well as numerous temples, grottos, and other decorative structures. The scene of the beginnings of the French Revolution, Versailles never again became a royal residence. A sun palace for a sun king, so for the rest of the game we get plus 0.5 prestige and plus 1 legitimacy per year. We're never getting those off 100% for long. Those are just amazing, like that's done. Anyway, these cores are almost done as well. That's very good. We have a truce with Japan, do we? No, Manchu and Oirat. So that'll throw us into a fairly decent sized war. I'm content with that. That will be fine. Don't care too much about Manchu. But we do want to use Manchu to attack Zhao, so... we're going to have to attack Manchu first. Then Japan. Got it. Nice and easy. But we're going to have to wait for these cores to finish because they're Zhao cores. Anyway, so the modern setting, or the postmodern setting, or whatever you want to call it, 2070, it's modern enough. It's a problem because what's actually become evident from it is the players, it's actually more difficult for a player to grasp a slightly postmodern setting and how it is different than it is for them to grasp something just incredibly bizarre and futuristic like 40k. I mean, yes, people will have issues grasping 40k. Just because, holy shit, it is completely different in every single way. But... Turkestan insult us again, really? Come on, you dickheads. Don't maybe just send a bloke up there to help out. And maybe you should both die or something. We're probably never going to be able to press our claim there. Nope. Anyway. All this fucking stuff just happens as I want to start talking. Get all these started up and going. We can now declare war on Zhao, luckily. Have an army in position? We totally do. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that, particularly among my players, there are some issues with the world. Like, the Shadowrun world. In that they treat it like modern day. And yeah, there is an element of that. I mean, there's an internet equivalent, but it is not the internet, and I don't know how many times I've had to tell them that you can't Google something in Shadowrun. That's not a thing you can do. But, they still try. So that's an annoyance. And it's one of the two reasons why I think the Shadowrun universe is not great. What was that? Just a little sort of doo-doo note. Yeah, whatever. Couldn't have been important. Okay, I'm just going to move these guys straight across for straight into Siak. These guys have invited Zhao into the party, so let's get going there. Whoops. Thank you, thank you. You guys can have a dude just to help out, but we should be fine. Main problem I'm going to have is getting dudes across into Manchu. It's actually, no, I'm not. I didn't even realize we had this connection. In we go. Canada is maxed. Yeah, they are. Recall. Have to wait for another 4 years before we can actually annex them. Alright. So yeah, one of two reasons why Shadowrun isn't great, in my opinion, and with the second reason being that the rule set is a piece of trash. Currently we're playing 4th edition. 5th edition did fix a few things, but magic is still stupid. Magic is basically the thing that breaks the entire game. And it's annoying. It's very annoying. I mean, I can kind of see how the normal systems would work, and the cybernetics and stuff, that just builds on the normal systems. The vehicle stuff, that just builds on the normal systems. It's all fine. But then magic comes along and it's like, nah, fuck you. Urtesh, really? God damn. And something down here. There they are. Nationalists, so we better pack a, we don't have a leader. All of them appear to be busy. Gangzhou. Yep, they're probably all busy. Just go and deal with it. Yeah, definitely using them all. Wait, am I? Yes, yes I am. No problems. So yeah, the magic shit just... It's because the spells don't have equivalent. They don't build on it. I mean, there are spells that build on things, don't get me wrong. There are damage spells and shit like that. There's not much risk in the spells, which there's supposed to be. Why did we break our... Why did that happen? Oh, fuck you. Really? Okay, Turkestan just rivaled us. Alright, well I guess we're gonna finally have that second rival we always wanted. Fuck. That just proves it. You can be at peace with somebody for fucking 200 years. 200 years. And then they're just like, nah, fuck you. Ah, somebody's sabotaging our reputation. Somebody has espionage ideas. That is a massive pain in the ass, because it has a huge issue for our vassals. Sabotage reputation is the worst fucking thing ever. And I believe I've discussed it previously. But it's terrible. It shouldn't be a thing. Yeah. It's just stupid. Anyway, back to Shadowrun. Magic is bad. It's not thought out well. They keep it around, and this is through 3rd, 4th, and 5th edition. I haven't played 1st or 2nd, so I don't know. Well, before my time. So, it seems to me like magic was always just the way it is. And they've kept it like that. Thank you for Zal. They've kept it like that as a sort of legacy thing. Because they don't know what to do with it. And, okay, fair enough. It's going to cost us 50 diplomatic power, but it says it's not going to cost us anything, bro. Whatever, 50 diplomatic power. Bang, bang. Stay there, lose your general. Make it a core. And put it in the trading company. Done and done. Ah. But yeah, I mean, for an example, there are two spells that my players were using quite a lot. One of them not anymore because that character's dead. And let's look at that one first. Invisibility. Specifically improved invisibility, because there is no reason that anybody ever would just take normal invisibility. Normal invisibility renders you immune from being seen from organics, from people, from animals, that sort of shit. It does not render you immune to technology. Improved invisibility does, and there is no real extra cost for it. At all. That's a problem. There's no penalty to having the better version of something. Which is like, well, fuck's the point then, right? There's no penalty to having the better version of something, or you just take the better version. The other issue is that it's not a scaled effect. I mean, look at Dungeons and Dragons for an example. Are you invisible? Yes. What does being invisible do? It means that people can't see you, which means that they take these particular penalties on things. Sure, no problem, there's actual stated effects. In Shadowrun, it doesn't do that. In Shadowrun, it's just like, yeah, you're invisible, you can't be seen. Okay. You're invisible and you can't be seen. Great. Like, what does that mean, then? Invisible, can't be seen. It's just, you know, there's nothing that people can do against you. That's the common interpretation, mainly from players. Which is annoying, because it's pretty much true. Oh, Crusades are over. That's a shame. We still have our royal ties of them, that's important. And keep that around, that's just fine. We can maybe support some... No, we're not going to act against them. The other spell that I'd like to talk about is Shape Change. Now, Shape Change is a difficult spell to cast. I'm not going to say that it's not. It is. But only if you're not a real mage. The current character who's using it is a Mystic Adept, which is kind of a half-half bastard mixture. And that's the only reason why he has difficulty casting it. And he doesn't have difficulty casting it, he has difficulty not taking damage for casting it. They want to give us Wasili. That is literally what I want, but I want to do it on my own terms. So I'll take Wasili. We could vassalize them. God damn. What is it with you people and vassals? I do want Wasili because that'll give us an inroad into Korea. I don't want him to be a vassal though, that'd be too much. Oh, cancel over the alliances. Can't give you any money. Well, they can't give me any money, apparently. None of that. None of that. None of that. They won't actually accept that offer. You can be friends with Mauritania. Thank you. Core it. Put it in the trade company. Okay, very good. Now we've actually got Holy War against Korea, which is always a good time. So, as I was rabbiting on about, shape change. Shape change lets you turn into something like an animal. Which, okay, no, that's fair enough. It lets you turn into an animal. Great. what else does it do? Well, to be specific, that animal that you turn into must be has a body stat within 2 points of yours. Okay, that's fine, that's a mechanical effect. That range is fucking enormous. As long as you, as a player, have a body of 3, you can be anything. Except for something with a body of 6 and above, which is like, you know, whales and shit like that. So the player just turns into a rat, runs away. Turns into an owl, runs away. Turns into anything, runs away. There's no way to stop it. Well, I found a way, but, you know, it was a bit cheap. But, yeah, that just happens. And when you cast a spell, you think, oh, you're turning into a shitty little rat. You know, that's going to be shitty. No, it's not. The number of successes you get on your spell give you additional points to every single one of your physical stats. So yeah, you had a body of 1 as a rat, but you got 3 successes, so now you got a body of 4, which is greater than your original body of 3. You are stronger as a rat than you are as a person. Not thought through well. Diplomacy's back up there, so what I'm gonna do... considering adding in the culture conversion cost. Yeah, let's do that one again. Convert a bunch of places. Yep. Yes. Let's just drain our diplomacy. Because we don't need it. We're also getting near military as well, so we might upgrade the military shit. Okay, that's good. Yeah, we can invest in military tech, and that'll give us better cannon. The Cohorn mortar, specifically. So we previously had the swivel cannon, which was alright. The Cohorn mortar just improves our defensive fire, that's fine. Good. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep it paused and talk a bit about Shadowrun. Hire another general. So that's... It's shit. It's like they've got these spells, they had them in 3rd edition and probably before then, and they just ported them over to 4th edition, which again is the one we're currently playing, with no regard for how they would influence anything. It was a lazy job. And probably one that they thought that they were doing alright, because they're like, well, it's tradition. We've always had these spells, we've got to keep these spells, let's make sure that they go in. And they didn't really think about balance. Sometimes I think maybe somebody else wrote the magic section as opposed to who wrote the entire thing. By the way, if you don't care about Shadowrun, feel free to end the video, because I'm just going to talk about that for a bit. Not going to actually do any more gameplay, because, you know, we've hit the half-hour mark. Yeah, so it seems to me like the magic system is stupid. It's done poorly. And it just doesn't work. Because if you're a mage, you're never taking any damage from any spell unless you cast Stupid. And if you cast Stupid, you're probably still not taking any damage. That's fine. No downsides to it. As a mage, you can take out a room of dudes in 3 seconds. No risk to yourself. The other thing which is so dumb about the magic system, the range of almost every spell that isn't a touch spell is line of sight. Not like a kilometer or 300 meters or anything reasonable. If you can see the person, you can cast a spell at them. What the fuck is that? No, it's just like a little thing. I thought it was a mark on my screen or something. Anyway, yeah, if you can see the person, as long as you're not viewing them through an electronic device like a television or an electronic camera or anything like that, you can cast a spell on them. So you've got a bunch of mages walking around with telescopes and mirrors and casting spells through those at people like that, which is dumb. You have unlimited range as a mage unless you can't see the person. Like, great. Really? Like, that's fucking absurd. Surely that's like somebody would look at that and say, oh, it's... But no, there's a whole bunch of things in the game designed to exploit that and use that to the mage's advantage, which mages don't fucking need that advantage. And to remind you all, you're pretty much always going to have a mage in your party because it's an archetype, it's almost an essential archetype, but you're rarely going to run up against a mage because they're supposed to be rare. Compare that to 40k. 40k's magic system it's amazing. And I'm fanboying a little bit there, but it is actually really good. There was only one exception to it, which I thought was ridiculous, and that was the Death Watch rules for Smite. Because, well, we had a player we still do have a player, who basically makes it his mission to try and break things as a mage character, because mages are always more powerful, and, you know, he basically doesn't derive any enjoyment out of actually playing the game, he derives his enjoyment out of breaking the game, which, to each their own, but it's disruptive. So I had to do a little bit of tinkering, but the thing was I could tinker. I could house rule things in, and all I had to do was change one of the talents, which are, you know, the 40k equivalent of feats, around a little bit, and mix up the negative side of magic system, but it was easy to mix up. In Shadowrun, all I could possibly do would be to add more damage dice to it. In Shadowrun, if you cast, you take what's called Drain, which is damage, and you resist it. If you don't resist it, you take damage. If you resist it, you're fine. If you increase that number, then yeah, you increase the chance of somebody taking damage, but you also increase the chance of somebody just completely fucking up their roll and dying from it, which is not acceptable from a game designer's point of view. Your players should never die as a result of something that is par for the course. Now, in saying that, there is the option for that to happen in Deathwatch. If you roll... So in Deathwatch, instead of taking damage, you have a chance to generate what are called psychic phenomena, which can then have a chance to upgrade to perils of the warp, and some of those are very bad. The very last one, which is like, well, let's say you've got to generate a psychic phenomena in the first place, which if you're casting like a reasonable person, you only have a 10% chance of doing. 25% chance of a phenomena becoming a peril, so that's a 2.5% chance of a peril. And I believe that the very worst result, that there's only, or the death results, that is, that there's only maybe a 10% chance of that in perils, so that's a 0.25% chance whenever you cast a spell, normally, that you're going to die. That's acceptable. That's fine. I don't care about that. That is fine, because there are also things that you can do to mitigate that. For example, you can cast Safe. You cast Safe and never generate a phenomena. You cast Weaker when you're casting Safe, but that's the thing. And of course you can escalate that percentage a little bit to a 2.5% chance of instant death, because you can cast Stupid and more powerful. So basically you rework those around a little bit, and I think Only War and Black Crusade had the better phenomena systems, because they had... like if you really pushed yourself, you'd actually add to your roll to generate, which was good. And they also fixed up Smite. Smite used to be a ridiculous amount of damage over a ridiculous area with ridiculous AP, armor penetration. And there wasn't really a thing you could do about it. It'd tear tanks apart, it'd tear people apart, it'd tear entire squads apart. And you couldn't do anything about it. In Only War, or the version of it that I lifted from Only War to put into Deathwatch, a lot better. A lot more balanced. It actually gives your Librarian a chance to fire his fucking gun, which normally they wouldn't do, because it's not as powerful. But generally what I'm getting at here is Shadowrun is a piece of shit. My opinion, fuck you. And I can't wait to stop playing it, or to stop running it, and run something that I actually enjoy running. That being said, I'm not going to abandon the campaign because I want to see it through, but the faster it happens, the better. And, well, I really do like the 40k universe, and I'd really like to play a game of Rogue, or run or play a game of Rogue Trader, but I'm not too sure that my players have the initiative to play Rogue Trader. I mean, in Shadowrun, they're already stumbling around the place wondering what to do. I have to lead them by the nose through everything, and that generates cries of railroading, which, if I didn't railroad them, they wouldn't do anything. But, I mean, let's see. In Only War and Deathwatch and even Dark Heresy, you've got a mission. You're told to go out there and do things. Black Crusade is a little bit different because you're playing as the bad guys. It's interesting, but it's different. In Rogue Trader, you are still on the side of the Imperium, but you're given free reign to go and do what you want with limits. But you're given a ship and basically told, that way. Enjoy. So, I'd really like to play a game of it, or run a game of it. I've got the tools to run a game of it. I have the ability to run a game of it. I'm good enough to do that. But I just have concerns about the players. I'm not sure whether I should do it with a new group, if I could get a new group together. Some people at my work have expressed interest in RP games. I just don't know. I'm looking at the books behind me right now, and yeah, I just really like to run that game, or play that game, or, that sort of thing. So I guess we're just going to have to see how it goes. But yeah, I really want to end the Shadowrun thing as quickly as I can, which the players aren't making easy because they keep on skipping out and that sort of stuff, which again makes me think that it's time to end it. And it's good that it is about to wrap up, 4 sessions away, which is a pain in the ass. I could fast track it a little bit, but it wouldn't make much sense. Just have to see how it goes. Anyway, I think I've talked for long enough, so if you're still with me, thank you. Let me know if, you enjoy me talking about the RP shit, as opposed to, well, I mean, maybe not as opposed to playing the actual game, but, that sort of thing. But yeah, thanks for sticking around if you did. If you didn't, well, you don't know, so yeah. But in the meantime, I have been Sub, you have been yourselves. Later.